Joseph Muscat is still in touch with basically everyone in the Labour Party. Vibe FM's Frank Zamit files a judicial letter over monstrous development next door, and Silvio Zamit, former aide to John Dudley, dies at age 57. All this and more on Love and Daily. Good evening, Malta and Gozo. Jonathan Chile here, joined by Paula Kauki. As you've seen on our socials, we've got a major interview with former Prime Minister Joseph Muscat coming out over the weekend. We're going to talk about that a bit later in today's episode, but before that, let's explore one of the main stories that came out of the interview. Joseph Muscat said that he's still in touch with pretty much everyone within the Labour Party, and that he even speaks to some figures such as former Tourism Minister Conrad Mizzi once a week and former Chief of Staff Keith Gembry every 2 weeks. So Muscat, speaking in an interview with Tim Diacono, said, listen, quote, I don't pester them or send them daily messages or so, but I am in touch with basically everyone within the PL. Now, this is very interesting because obviously a lot of people have wondered just how much of an influence Joseph Muscat still remains on the Labour Party today, whether he's in contact with his predecessor, Robert Abela, current Prime Minister, regularly, semi-regularly. It seems that from what Muscat's saying, he is very much in contact with various members of the Labour Party, current and former. When we asked him about his discussions with Robert Abela, he said, listen, quote, it's not the first time we've spoken on certain issues, but I'll keep our conversations to ourselves.
ħaġa ovvja, ġifieri tħobbu jew tobodu Joseph Muscat ħadd ma jista' jiġħad li huwa moħħ politiku strateġiku kbir, ġifieri ovvjament ma nħoddux bi kbira li ħafna nies speċjalment dawk involuti direttament kemm jaspiraw li jkollhom ħajja politika jew kemm min qed imexxi xi tip ta' entità ministeru, ma nħoddux bi kbira li jvajduru fuq Joseph Muscat għal pariri għaliex ħafna mid-deċiżjonijiet politiċi li għamelu ġeneralment dejjem intlaqgħu tajjeb il-pubbliku għalhekk ikollok bżonn parir, ovvjament hija għażla naturali, tajjeb li ngħidu li Joseph iċċara x'qed iwasslu biex issa wara sentejn qiegħed jarġa' jagħti l-intervisti joħroġ il-videos jikkummenta. Joseph bażikament qal illi il-pjan tiegħu oriġinali kien illi jintesa' bil-Kwiet fade away imma malajr induna illi mhuwiex possibbli kemm jekk anke hu jekk jipprova ma jikkummenta u ma jidher imkien xorta għandek in-nies illi kontinwament jerġgħu jsemmuh u ovvjament di waslitu biex speċjalment wara ir-rejt fid-dar tiegħu li qal isma' sentej kienu biżżejjed biex nesperimentaw b'din intesa' clear li ma ħadmitx mela issa wasal iż-żmien li nerġa' nibda nsemma leħni u bekk din intervista hija proprju ir-riżultat ta' din id-deċiżjoni illi Joseph tit tal-ġimgħat ilu. Interessanti wkoll issa naraw il-perspettiva ta' Joseph fuq ħafna affarijiet illi forsi ma setax jgħidhom qabel għaliex kien jinfluwenza litteralment il-politika tal-pajjiż u li issa bħala ċittadin privat jista' jgħidhom ma dik ħanħalluha l-iktar tard illum. Neqilbu għat-tieni storja tal-lum, storja illi forsi ħafna minnkom smajtu b'xi ħadd li għadda biha jew għaddejtu biha intom ukoll, il-preżentatur ta' Vibe, Frank Zamit, daħħal ittra uffiċjali sabiex jipprotesta għal fatt illi l-binja ta' Maġembu fil-Pjetà twaqqat u ser tinbena block flats kif qed jiġri f'ħafna lokalitajiet u b'riżultati li hu ser jindifen id-dar tiegħu li FUCA ser tindifen u bekk qed jargumenta li l-solar panels tiegħu ġew għalxejn għax issa m'hemmx ħajkun hemm aċċess għax-xemx ħajkun hemm id-del ta' din il-binja. Hija storja li mhux l-ewwel waħda ta' natura tagħha ma nafx kemm hemm min illi wara li tilfu l-appell jmorru quddiem il-qrati, ġifieri jersqu lil hemm il-Planning Authority. Żgur mhix l-ewwel żgur mhix l-aħħar forsi wieħed tajjeb isegwi l-andament tal-proċess ta' Frank Zamit jekk biħsibu jżomm il-pubbliku aġġornat bil-każ tiegħu biex dak li jkun jew jitgħallem jew nisperaw li dak li jkun ma jaqtax qalbu għaliex wieħed jara l-qorti kif taħsibha bħal-każ.
No, that's exactly it, Paula. So I can't imagine what it must be like investing in solar panels, trying to get some green energy, some environmentally friendly energy in your home, just for your next door neighbor to build 1, 2, 3 stories above, blocking you out completely. And as Paula pointed out, this isn't only a situation that affects Frank Zammit. You know, this affects many people in Malta, many people who are not famous or not so well known. So I do hope that Zammit taking it to court, filing a judicial letter over this, kind of raises awareness, shines a spotlight on the situation that I think is already happening and is going to happen even more so as Malta continues to develop across the island. Moving on to the next story, a bit of a sad story. Silvio Zammit, the former aide to former EU Commissioner John Dalli, has died at age 57. Now, details as far as the reasons for his death are still scarce. However, the news was announced this morning by the Sliema Local Council, where Zammit used to be a deputy mayor. Zammit used to run the Pepe's restaurant in Sliema, but was very famously thrust into the spotlight back in 2012 after he was accused of soliciting a €60 million bribe to influence John Dalli to overturn an EU-wide ban on snus tobacco. So, you know, very, very big story back then, stories that we're still living with the implications today. But, you know, during this challenging time, Love of Malta definitely sends its condolences to the family. What's interesting is a lot of media houses obviously reported the story this morning, and I saw a lot of comments online from people wondering why in the reports on his death, the allegations and the solicitations, these things were brought up. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, this is a major court case that's still ongoing, actually. So, you know, I do wonder what you guys think, you know, when reporting on someone who's passing, if he has these kind of allegations, should they be mentioned in the report or should you kind of ignore them?
Jina, ikolli najt li, ovvjament naqbel li din l-informazzjoni tkun inkluża fir-rapportaġġ għaliex forsi aħna din nirrapportaw il-mewt ta' Silvio Zammit u nagħdu l-kondoljanzi l-familja u l-ħbieb tiegħu minħabba dak li ġara 10 snin ilu, ġifieri ma sarx popolari għax għandu ristorant jew kien viċi sindku ta' Sliema, imma minħabba dan l-episodju li għamel diversi xhur u snin fuq il-medja u għalhekk sfortunatament meta ġurnalisti jirrapporta l-fatti u bekk ma naqbilx ma dal-ħafna tajjir li kien hemm lejn il-ġurnalisti propju għax il-ġurnalisti għamlu xogħolhom. Having said that, kulħadd jiddispjaċih jaqra li bniedem ta' din ta' żgħira ikun ħallina u wieħed jiġelek tirrifletti kemm il-ħajja jkollox, is-saħħa jkollox u kemm il-flus ma jiswewna xejn. Ma mhux tagħmel. U kif għamilna aċċenna li fil-bidu tal-programmu kien anka l-main item forsi li tiġi shared u l-main item li titkellmu fuq illum maħseb wara għada. U l-ħadd hija l-intervista ta' Joseph Muscat ma' Tim Diakono maqsuma f'żewġ partijiet. L-ewwel parti toħroġ għada fid-9:09 filgħodu u t-tieni parti toħroġ il-ħadd fid-9:09 filgħodu wkoll fejn hemmhekk ser ikollna naqra ta' forsi affarijiet li qatt ma smajna lil Joseph jgħidhom u l-opinjonijiet tiegħu fuq affarijiet kontroversjali fosthom jiena looking forward li nisma' x'għandu xi jgħid dwar l-abort pereżempju. Naħseb ara Jonathan għajdhom daqsxejn is-suġġetti kollha li nisma'hom Joseph għax żgur li hemm xi suġġett li jolqot l-interess personali tiegħek.
You know, I think, Paul, you kind of touched on it when you said, you know, it's been 2 years of this guy trying to fade away, of the former Prime Minister trying to be quiet. After the recent raid, it seems like something's kind of changed and Muscat seems to be back in public, ready to speak and, you know, have his say. So it covers a lot of topics. Obviously, we speak about kind of his relationship with Labour Party, with the current Prime Minister in further detail. Obviously, the recent police raid, the search on his house that saw, you know, officers confiscate his mobile, his wife's mobile, his children's mobile. Topics such as abortion as well. Topics that you might not expect, such as magic mushrooms and the future of hallucinogens in Malta, as well as other things, you know, his summers on office, his relationship with certain people such as Wasai Bati. You know, we covered a lot of ground, a lot of topics. Tim Diakono did. I think it was a great interview. I really do urge you to watch it if you're at all interested in this.
U jekk l-intervista tjagħmilha Tim taf illi m'hemmx kantunieri tal-mistoqsija fejn ipoġġija, ġifieri għalhekk ukoll looking forward li nsegwiha. Ovvjament be kind in your comments għax Alla jaf x'ħajkun hemm fil-comment section.
But do let us know what you think in the comments section below. Like I said, like Paula said, first part comes out tomorrow 9:30 on all our social media, Facebook, Instagram. Part 2 comes out 9:30 Sunday morning, and throughout the weekend we'll have a bunch of articles on specific angles. So very excited to have that out. Very excited to let you guys see it. And I think we're actually going to end today's episode with a brief teaser from the interview coming out this weekend. And as always, from myself and Paula, have an evening full of love.
Keith Schembri, Brian Tonna, Colcini all spent some time in jail before the court cases against them concluded. Jürgen Fenech has been in jail for a few years. Could you be next?